Boom, my people, what is going on? We are here. We are tapped in, man. We are here. Let me get this music right. There we go. Right there, man. What's going on, people in the chat? How you guys doing, man? Thank you for tapping in, man. We got a lot to talk about. A lot to talk about tonight, guys. Let me know in the chat if that music is too loud. Let me know, and we will correct that. Bringing in my brother John right here, man. John, how are you? Tell the people who you are and tell the people where they can find you.
Well, my blood pressure is probably at an all-time high after this game, and I'm doing good. Right, we came out with a win. Bama Talk with John on YouTube, and as you guys can see there, at BT with John or at Bama Talk with John on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, as well. So no, we're in football season, right? We get the win, 42-16. It looks like it's went final. So yeah, we got a lot to talk about, man. A whole lot to
And
talk about.
thank you, Bama Fan 95. I appreciate you, man. First of all, before we do anything, let me shout out everybody, man.
Yep.
Scott, what's up with you, bro? How you doing? Roll Tide to you, brother. Good, good. Hey, Scott, I agree, man. Scott, it was rough, bro. It was rough, man. You know what I'm saying? My brother Eric D. Eric, I need to hear something from you tonight, bro. I need you to get it to me straight, bro. You know what I'm saying? I was, man, we gonna get into it. We gonna get into it, man. Shout out to my brother Moon Rocker, man.
What's
Moon
going on,
Rocker, my
bro?
gym buff for real. Moon Rocker. Hey man, how you feeling, Moon Rock? I need to know, bro. What man? I'm at a loss of words, man. Right? Can one man go from as low as possible to as high as possible that quick? Right? My brother Bama Fan 95. What's up with you, brother? I thank you, Bama Fan 95. Appreciate you, brother. Good to see you in here too, brother. I need you to get it to me straight, man. What you think, Bama? Ken Rush, what's up with you, bro? Roll Tide, man. Hey, I know, right, Ken? Right? Ty does Moto, what's up with you, brother? How you feeling? How you doing, man? Good to see you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Kanafi, what's up with you, bro? How you doing? How you feeling? Roll Tide to you, bro. Man, look, Mr. B205, bro. I man, we gonna talk about it, Mr. B. We gonna talk about it, my brother. My brother, Coach Al. Me and Al talked through the whole damn game, man. My brother, Coach Al, man. I'm good and glad, Coach. We got a lot to talk about, Coach Al, man. We gonna have to get into it tonight, brother, and really, really, really see what it is, man. Al, good to see you, bro. Thank you for. I need you tonight, bro. You know what I'm saying? CJ, 1992. What's up with you, CJ? How you doing, man? How you feeling after that game, CJ? Talk to me, man. Nove J Speed, what's up with you, brother? How are you? How are you feeling, man? Good to see you, brother. I know, right, Nove J? Man. Clinton, what's up with you, bro? Man, yeah, Clinton. It does it get any more sloppy when we play that team, man. Anitra, shout out to Anitra, Queen Anitra. How are you, Anitra? It's good to see you in here. Thank you for tapping in. We need you, man. We need you, Anitra. Thank you, Greg. What's up, Greg? Talked to Greg earlier today on Twitter. What's up with you, Greg? Roll Tide to you, Greg. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you, Philip Thomas. What's up, Philip? Good to see you, bro. My brother John is in here, as you know. Man, Megan is in here. What's up, Megan? How you doing? How you feeling? Good to see you for sure, for sure. David is in here. What's up, David? Roll Tide to you, bro. How you doing? Man, we just talked about that, David. We just talked about that. Mike Jones, what's up, bro? Mike Jones. Mike Jones, what's up, bro? We just talked about that. Nicole, my girl Nicole. What's up with you? We need you in here, Nicole. I need to know what you're thinking. Monica, my girl Monica. Hey, what's up, Monica? How you doing? How you doing, Monica? Roll Tide to you. Need to see you in here, man. Thank you. My broski from the hometown, Travelpreneur. What's up, bro? Good to see you, Travelpreneur. I need you. Hey, I need you to give it to me straight tonight, Travelpreneur. What the hell, man? I need you to give it to me. Dino, what's up, bro? How you feeling? How you doing, bro? Good to see you in here, Dino. My broski, Bear. My broski from another Moski is here. Bear, what the hell was that, man? I just need to know. You know, can a brother feel so bad the first 58 minutes of the damn game, man? You know what I'm saying? Can a brother feel so bad and be ecstatic the last 2 or 3 minutes? Is that possible? Because that was me all day. My brother A Watt, what's up, A Watt? Good to see you, bro. How you doing? Curtis Ellis in here. A Watt, glad you in here, bro. For sure, for sure. Man, listen, let's get right into it, man. Bass say the O line practicing tonight after. Hey, Bell, bruh, listen, man. Listen. Let me get to John first, man, because I got a lot to say. John, I want you to give it to me straight, bruh. Give me the whole thing, bro.
Mm.
Let me know how you're feeling. Let me know what your thoughts are, man, and what you thinking right now. Oh, we got B Sharp. Hold on. Let me get my boy Brinsky in here. Brinsky, what's up,
What's
Brinsky?
going on,
What's going
man?
on, man?
Man, Brinsky, can a man be so upset for 58 minutes and then be happy however long the damn game is? To two
Hey,
hours and 58 minutes?
hey, I know I am because that game was stressful, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Stressful. Yes.
I haven't cut so much in my life.
Look, Quaysha, Quay, what is the business? I need you in here, Quaysha. I need you to get it to me straight. Pam, give it to me straight. I need to know what y'all thinking, how you feeling, how you doing. Come on, John, talk to me. What you thinking?
All right, so I'll need lemon water right after I get done with this. So I won't take up all the time, obviously. So I'm just going to point out a couple obvious things. The first and most obvious thing, if you watch the end of this game, the moment Formby went out and Elijah Pritchett got put on the right side, all of a sudden we can run on the right side, and there was no issues, right?
No issue.
So Elijah Pritchett can't pass protect, but damn it, I would rather have him at this point and deal with that type of problem than what we dealt with Formby. That man cannot kick slide out
Yes.
to pass protect like anything I've ever seen before. I don't understand it because against Western Kentucky, I get it. He was going against a lesser opponent across from him, right? And that just got exposed badly in this game. He actually went against an edge rusher that can bend. And the moment this dude could bend, he was gone. It's like he got on his hip and just walked right by him every single time. So that was one of the most obvious things. The thing I said from the beginning of this game is we knew they brought a lot of pressure, right? If you did any film study, they blitz almost every single freaking play. So when I was talking to Ty, I said it would make probably the most sense to run mesh routes, quick slants, quick outs, running backs in the flats, even like pyramid routes, right? Like 5-7 yards up, which is how Kobe Prentice got the touchdown later in the game. The first half, it seemed like we were trying so hard to force the ball to Ryan Williams down the field. We just ignored everything else, right? Because
Yes, man.
there was so much open. If you go back and watch the film on the other side of the field, he just didn't even look at. It was like it was Ryan Williams, and that's the only thing we were focusing on was just Hollywood. We cannot do that against better opponents, or we're going to really get pounded. Penalties are obvious here. So if I look at the penalties, 13 for 124. I'm on Formby, by the way, for holding. 4 holding penalties. And it took that long to bring in Elijah Pritchett. I know people aren't the biggest fan of him after the previous game, but my goodness. Now, just real quick, I'll just give real quick takes on this. As far as the offense, lack of rhythm in the offense, Formby getting beat, obviously, forcing the ball to Williams. Jalen Milroe, you got to learn to throw the ball away, brother.
Yes.
When you get in trouble like that, you have got to get rid of the ball. And unfortunately, from what I looked, and I actually had this happen to me, so I kind of looked familiar. It looked as though Cole Adams dislocated his shoulder, is what it looked like on the field. So that looked really nasty when he fell, and I was like, yeah. Defense, once again, can't wrap up, right? Got that issue. Jahad Campbell was everywhere. Great night for him, in my opinion. Yeah, he had a couple missed assignments, but for the most part, he was flying all over the field. Tim Keenan did an amazing job collapsing his gaps. His gap control was amazing. Our DBs outside of Damani on 1 or 2, we're getting smoked on the outside. I mean, smoked. Those
better quarterback play. That was
it would have bit us. This game we would have been down like 17 points by halftime if it was a better quarterback. There's no doubt about it. Lack of pass rush at times. Q-Rob kind of solved some of that because when Q-Rob got on the field and he got on that edge, they couldn't contain him, especially when he's stunning inside. And the last point I'm going to make here, in my opinion, the MVP of this game has to go to Burnip, the punter. I mean, he did an amazing job keeping South Florida on the other side of the field. I mean, he had a couple like 55-yard punts that nobody wanted to talk about. I'm like, thank goodness this dude has a leg on him for the most part. But yeah, I was just disappointed in a lot of things. And the fact that why didn't we try to test running on the edge more? Because those dudes collapsed inside a lot most of the time to stop Jam and Haynes from running inside. They were leaving the edge exposed, but we just continued to not try to bounce it out. So, yeah, that's pretty much my breakdown of it really quick. So, yeah, I don't want to be on here for like 20 minutes straight. Give you guys time to talk.
Talk to me, Brinsky. What you got? I need to hear it all.
I see everybody in the chat talking about Wilconformity had a bad game. Bad is not the word. Horrendous is a better word. That was probably one of the worst performances I ever seen by an old lineman, like probably ever at Alabama. It was just he couldn't stop nobody. He was holding pretty much on every play. It was getting by him like it wasn't no tomorrow. And then it was just like they was undisciplined from the beginning of the game until like it was 5 minutes left in the game until we started to break away. And then they had to get him out the game, man. He has a lot of work to do with that old line, man. Like he just got to get back in the lab, man. He has a lot of work to do. I don't see him touching the field anytime soon anymore this year unless it's a big blowout. Because he just exposing himself every time. I thought Elijah Pritchard was bad last week, and I apologize, Elijah.
Same.
I'm so sorry. I was like, I don't think we'll see nobody play bad like he played last week. Oh, yes, we did. And this is, I don't know what to say. And what I told you, Coach, I kept telling y'all all summer long, well, pretty much the whole year. We just so young in that backfield. Better quarterback play.
Facts.
Those walk-in touchdowns every time because they're getting beat on the line off those releases. And they're going to have safety help or something. They can't press up right now. That's why I said they just young right now. They talented, but they just young right now. Thank God he missed on all those throws, literally every last one. Because
he did too. Yes.
Oh my goodness, man. We definitely got to. I don't think we're going to see a quarterback like this guy all for the rest of the year, like running wise. But we really need to get that our cornerback situation together. Linebacker,
Van Dyke, he can whip that thing.
You said who?
Tyler Van Dyke, Wisconsin.
Oh yeah. I don't think he can. Well, he doesn't have a size like this guy. So you take a few of those hits, you start to slow down a little bit.
Facts.
He is built like that. So, man, it's just tough. Jahad Campbell playing lights out again. Facts. I kept. One thing I hate about the defensive line this game, they just kept over pursuing. They wasn't containing him at all, and then you could just see him just keep hitting the middle hard and just leaving the outside open. You see what he's doing every play. And it was just one drive. He literally all he did was just run.
That's it.
And so, man, we got a lot of work to do. I don't want to see nobody celebrating or do anything. Don't even go out on the town. You need to be in the lab. It needs to be a lot of work going on, man.
Oh, and we need to teach people how to secure the ball. 2 fumbles in a row. We lost it. I about lost my mind.
3 total.
Yeah, 3 total. Like we lost, and we could have lost more, by the way, because I don't know.
My fault.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
No, the one on the goal line probably pissed me off the most.
Yep.
Because Jesse, I was about to say Jesse. Yeah, Jesse Palmer literally said, just put him in shotgun and let him run.
You did it the whole first half. The first right.
Like, it's not even rocket science. It's not even rocket science. Just let him run. Yes. And I was like, what is all these plays like? I'm like, man, no. We don't have to do all this right now. We see it's one of those games. Let's not bullshit.
Yes, man. Thank you.
And that's what we kept doing, man. And I was really, really frustrated with this game, man. Thank God it's over. And I was
too, bro.
And my fault, Coach. I know I'm just going.
No, you go ahead, bro. Take your time. I'm good. I want to hear what you guys got to say.
Oh, yeah. And whoever handled the scheduling, don't schedule South Florida anymore. I've seen enough.
Oh.
I don't want to see them no more in my lifetime. Trust me, I don't want to see them no more. The white flag is out. The white flag is out. I'm done. I'm cool.
Good. Hey, I agree with you guys, man. We got 248 people total between Twitter and YouTube, man. Thank you guys for tapping in. Marquita, man, that's why I left the comment up here. Shout out to Marquita, man. Shout out to my neighbor, Marquita, who stayed not too far from me. Marquita's good to see you, man. Good to see you, sweetie. Thank you for tapping in. Tate McClendon is in here. Tim Lovett is in here, man. Bama Gump is in here, man. Thank you, all you guys, man. Oscar Austin is in here. Thank you. Sakina Bina is in here. Curtis Ellison is in here. Roll Tide to you all, man. Thank you so very much, Jada. You already know what it is, man. Chris Camp is in here. What up, Chris? Obviously, the Broski Bear is in here. We know that. Megan is in here, man. No, J Speed is in here. LaQuation Breakaway is in here. Listen, all no cap is in here. Henry Camp is in here. Henry Campbell, excuse me, Henry is in here. Even Ken Washington is in here. What's up, Ken? Good to see you, bro. Listen, man, let me get right into my spiel and I'll make this quick, man. Bro, I was taking notes through the damn game, man. I had to be focused, man, because I be taking notes. I'm still be on my coaching tip, man. Listen, bro, we know about Wilkin. We'll get to that. We know about the offensive stalls, the blocking. I'm gonna tell you this too. For a minute there, I thought Tommy Reese had snuck back into the press box. Tommy, are you in there, Tommy? Is that you, Reese? Have you replaced Nick Sheridan? Because I'm gonna tell you something, bro. We kept doing this little option stuff with Jalen. Right? I'm like, what the hell are we doing? Like, why are you trying to be cute? You know what I mean? Just, bruh. I got reminiscence of last year. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you something else too. I did not like, bro. I did not enjoy. It's like John said. There were several times underneath. Kobe Prentice got very frustrated. Kobe was open. You know what I mean?
So
We didn't
much
even
of the
we didn't
game.
even look at him. We didn't even look at him. It's like we were. I love Ryan. Don't get me wrong. Ryan's gonna have a great career with the good Lord's grace. But we can't get fixated on Ryan because it was Kendrick Law on a hitch route was practically by himself. DD fell down. We didn't even look at Kendrick. I'm like, man, we got to get everybody involved because they're there. They're open. They're there, guys. So listen, our first third down, um, excuse me, on defense, dude ran right by Red. Red got caught in phase too long, flat.
Oh,
Dude ran right by him. Luckily, he overthrew him, but we was burnt like a piece of toast, man.
Yep.
Burnt like a piece of toast. These quarterbacks that we face in the future is not gonna miss those throws. They're not. Nico, I'm not even gonna try to say the young man's last name for Tennessee. He's not gonna miss those throws, man.
At
no.
all.
Georgia's quarterback, Carson Beck is not gonna miss those throws, right? Man, look, we got to start looking for Kobe and Kendrick, man, because they were open they were open too, man. Um, you know, we were very sloppy, very sloppy. The play calling wasn't the best. Let me see. We got ball no cap with the $5 super chat. Whoever penalty need a jersey. He deserves MVP. That's a whole fact, man, because we can't seem to get away from these penalties. In the last 4 years, we have been one of the most penalized I've ever seen at Alabama. It's like we break our own record every year with penalties. I don't know what the hell is going on with that, man. Our offensive line has been a issue, man, and I just don't know what it is. Not gonna get on Wilkin too bad. I'm sure the young man is feeling terrible right now, but I will say the young man is not ready to start. I don't believe. I know it's just one game, but to get beat like that, I really watch Wilkin. Wilkin, I don't know if he reverted back to his high school days, but he got caught with his hands down. He got caught. His kick slide was very, very lazy. He got caught lunging. When you lunge and you 6'6", 6'7", you lose balance when you lunge, guys. When you lunge and you're that tall, it makes it very easy for the defender to get around you. You can't lunge. You got to have a straight back bent kick slide and keep your hands inside. That's how they teach you. Wilkin got very, very you tend to try to lean on your athletic ability. And at that level, everybody's just as athletic as you, if not more athletic. And they beat him just with simple pass rushes, man. They beat him a lot, man. Is that Coach Smoke? What up, Coach? What's going on with your smoke? What's happening with your boy? Shout out to Coach Smook and the entire AAA network, man. Tap in with Coach Smook for the utmost inside recruiting analyst info that you can find on the internet. Smook know this just as well as I do. You get caught, man, being lazy on your kick slide, man, and get lazy in your fundamentals playing that tackle. Remember, guys, I'll say this really quickly. When tackle is different than guard. They try to put the better athletes at tackle because tackle is on the edge, right? You don't have help a lot of times. You out there on your own with this guy who coming full speed at you. Guard, you have a lot of help. You inside, right? Tackle, you need a better athlete at tackle. That's why they like the tackles with the long arms and the long torsos. Tackle, you have to be an athlete to really get out of your kick slide and block those guys. Now, he'll learn from this, man. He'll learn from this. He'll get better. But right now, I really think Elijah may need to play more on that right side. It's almost like Elijah had a better feel for the right side than the left, because remember, everything's reversed. Your back leg, your right leg is back as opposed to your left leg is back on the left side. So it's a lot of different fundamental things that are different when you play left tackle as it is to right tackle. So, I want to put Tyler back inside. Booker's a great, guard and tackle, but I want to see Tyler Booker stay at guard, right? What's up, Big Bama? Much love to you. Matt Farms, what's up to you, bro? How you feeling? How you doing? Moon Rocker, you already know what it is, man. DeBoer said he's gonna fix it and saving night of all nights. Exactly. I kept thinking about that too, Moon Rocker. Like, I know Coach. Can you imagine what is going through Coach Saban's mind watching us play like that? Can you just imagine what Coach Saban is thinking, man? The guy was here for 17 years. You cannot help but to think, what is that man thinking after watching this, man? Pastor B, what's up, my brother? Thank you for tapping in, my brother, Pastor B. Rico is in here, man. All the families in here, man. Good to see you guys. But can you guys imagine what was going through Coach Saban's mind? I want to ask you guys this. I want to ask you this. Let me start with you, John. I want to get your input on the play calling. I want the chat to chime in too, man. We got almost 300 people total. I want to know what you guys think about the play call. Now I know it's with one game, but South Florida, we said this in our pregame. John and I, we talked about how this team was going to pressure. This team was going to split you out and let the quarterback work. I said specifically, he's great at going from 1 to 2, and after 2, he taking off. You know what I mean? He's not going to try to get to his third read many times. He's very uncomfortable going to his third read. But I want to know what you want to know about our play calling. Alabama's play calling from the beginning of the game to, we'll just say, 5 minutes left in the game, because we started doing really, really well for some reason the last 3 minutes. But before the 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, John Brinsky, talk to me about what you think our play calling looked like, and do you think it was just a product of the offensive line not blocking?
So do you want it from both sides, offense and defense, or just offense?
Yes, just offense,
So I'll be straight up honest with you. When you look at the play calling, it looks like they did no studying of what South Florida does. These guys bring pressure in so many different ways, almost on every single play. I don't understand how Jalen Milroe did not have dump off options. I just don't understand. There's a lot of plays where there was no dump off. And I feel like that is a major red flag to me. Like, if you know these guys are bringing 5 and 6 a lot of times, right? So how are you not going to have this guy coming off of a slant, or like I said, a mesh, or some guy in the something to give Milroe an easy drop off to? It didn't happen, right? So, and it felt like there was no adjustments made until maybe 3.5 quarters in, right? I felt like I said, it was steered towards Ryan Williams a little too much, in my opinion. I get it. There was some PIs. They were holding him. We can make all the excuses in the world, but there was Kobe Prentice. I don't blame him. I don't know if you guys saw, he threw his helmet on the sideline at one point because he was open 2 plays in a row, wide open. Nobody was even around him. And I was like, how does nobody see this? I really do think, I don't know how practice was ran this week, right, or what they would do to have this type of game plan to where it was just so lopsided to one side of the field. Jalen almost seemed to not go through his progressions. He would look to one side of the field towards Ryan Williams or whoever it was supposed to be. And if they weren't there, he was struggling, right? So I don't understand what happened from Western Kentucky to this week, and as far as play calling goes. I don't get it, because if you go back and watch the Western Kentucky game, which I'm going to have to do now, it's like you're watching 2 different offensive coordinators. Nick Sheridan is the primary play caller with obviously Kalen DeBoer's input, right? So that's the way they have this set up. I don't understand how you have these dump off options and everything in the first game, and in the second game they're just erased, and we're throwing down the field what 5 or 6 times in the first half, straight down the field past like 30 yards, and none of it's working, right? And they're playing two high safeties. So why are we even attempting this stuff? It didn't make sense to me. The adjustments weren't made right away. If Nick Sheridan is going to be in the booth, you would expect the adjustments to come quicker than him being on the field, is what I would assume. I never played college football, right? So, or coached, but that's what I would assume. I guess that would be your primary advantage of being in that booth. So you can make the personnel adjustments and stuff like that because you see the whole field on the defense and offensive side, and it just didn't happen. I thought it was very aggressive play calling that we just need to learn to throw 6 or 7, 8 yards to open Kobe Prentice, running a pyramid route or something like that. We don't need to go deep every play.
It's a whole fact. And before you go, Brinsky, let me say this. That's a key point that you said that, man, because remember this, guys. These guys are playing two safety high. We didn't give the running backs a lot of chances in the first couple of quarters. We didn't give them a lot of chances, man. And if you don't give the running back the ball, passing will throw your offensive line out of sync, and it'll throw your running backs out of sync. Trust me, I know personally. If you pass block it every play, it tends to make your offense not as physical, right? You gotta run the ball. We just kept. He's 100% correct, man. We got way too pass happy, and the offense got out of sync a little bit. Three and out. What you think, Brinsky? Play calling.
Play calling was very, very questionable on the offensive end. It felt like somebody was playing college football 25.
That's
They'll
a fact.
run the ball a couple of times, and then we just looking deep every play. To their credit, the referees did a horrible job when it came to pass interference. Because pass interference was probably should have been called like 5 times when they didn't call it, but they was calling everything on us. So, but it balanced out at the end when you look at the stat sheet with all the penalties. But man, the play calling was just horrendous. I don't know what was going on. Like you said, Coach, they was getting too cute at one point with the plays, man. I don't even know what was going on. Like we just went completely. We just started doing things differently that we normally don't do. And you can't look for Ryan Williams every play.
Every play, man.
I'm like, let him develop. He'll get there. I'm about to say, yeah, if you want to make him the big play guy, that's cool. But like John was saying, man, Kobe Prentice was open so many times.
Yes, he was.
There was a lot of missed throws. Jalen, it was one set that Jalen took that pissed me off. So
when he was going backwards.
When he was going backwards, and all he had to do was just throw the ball away.
Oh my God, bro.
I was like, what are you doing? There's nothing there. Just throw it away. And he just said, I promise you, I almost threw my remote at my TV. How mad I was.
Yeah, I feel you.
After you see that, it seemed like anytime he got in trouble, you start throwing away. I said, oh, now you want to throw it away.
Yeah.
I was like, man, we got a lot of work to do, man. A whole lot of work to do.
And I mean,
we definitely do.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Coach, but I mean, if these guys are bringing this much pressure and Formby's getting beat this bad, why don't we run bubble screens or something to the other side? Like, slow down the pressure by literally just doing the simple stuff, in my opinion, that Lane Kiffin and Steve Sarkisian did while they were at Alabama. Like, oh, you want to blitz a lot like Georgia did? How do we beat Georgia consistently? It was those little bubble screens, jet sweeps, simple things that forces the rush to slow down because you need more people in the open space. And that was the most frustrating part to me, in my opinion.
The Jag. What's up, Jag? Good to see you, Jags. We home, Bama 24. It's good to see you guys. Bama Gump, Katrina, what's up with y'all? So good to see y'all in here, man. Listen, Edward Bishop, what's up with you, brother? How you feeling and how you doing? Walt Albright, what's up, Walt? Good to see you, bro. How you feeling? How you doing? Man, listen, I sent me, Jake, and Ty was texting through the whole damn game. Shout out to Jake and shout out to Ty. I sent them a picture. I wish I could show it to you of South Florida playing zero. They were playing press all across the board with one safety way back deep.
Yep.
Begging you to run any type of mesh route. something right behind the linebackers, begging you to run the tight end across the formation. Anything. We never did it. All we kept doing is chunking that rascal downfield, chunking it, chunking it, chunking. And it's like I give South Florida credit with once they found out that the refs weren't going to call the pass interference, they were mugging our receivers. I'm talking about pulling jerseys. Uh, I mean, they played very aggressive on the receivers because they understood the refs wasn't going to call the flag,
Yep.
not on them anyway. So we got a lot to work on, man. I think Nick Sheridan, if you ask him, he'll tell you there's a lot of things he could do differently. I didn't like when we got in the red zone. We started, like Brinsky was talking about, we got really, really cute and trickeration and run the option with Jalen and then he'll keep it, or sometimes he'll throw. Man, listen, you got justice in jam. That last drive that we scored, everybody was like, where that's been all night. We didn't do nothing but outside zone. That's all we done. We pulled the
Yeah.
front side guard and the tackle from that side, Pritchard, which was Pritchard. We pulled them, right? Oh, is that my brother, Coach? Oh, I know this ain't who I think it is. Introducing the man himself. Coach J is here, chat. He is here. 325 people. Coach J is here. Look, Jay, what I was going to wrap up and say is we did nothing special in that last drive. We ran that Pritchard on outside zone and Jam took it 56 damn yards, right? Jay, we talking about the play calling at the time right now. Just give me your spiel, Jay. Play calling, anything that you saw that you was like, this ain't it. This ain't it. What you think?
Well, first of all, I'll just say this because we're talking since you talked about the last drive. You know what the funny part is? There were two tight ends on the field. Now, why were there two tight ends on the field? Why are we running a jumbo set on those last two particular drives? Are we doing that because are we trying to help compensate for a tackle like we should have been doing the entirety of the game?
Entire game.
Instead of just playing around and letting Wilkin Formy just leave him on an damn near on an island, him getting beat on inside stunts where the defender is just constantly crossing his face, or they're running outside stunts and he's losing. And the running back and Roberts has to compensate for just him just getting beat. And we made no adjustment to it. No tight end to kind of help chip the defender, nothing. And it's just the play calling. Nick Sheridan and Kalen DeBoer was atrocious. I mean, I just got caught the way it is, guys. It was terrible. It made absolutely no sense why we played around with this team for this long without making any sort of adjustment. In this game, knowing that the run game was your strength, why Elijah Pritchett, who is, again, not the best pass protector out there, but in terms of just his athletic ability, his physical size, his strength, his quickness, the fact that he is probably better suited for this, because we run a lot of pin and pull and just getting the tackles out into open space, like we've been implemented for a long time. Why wasn't he not included in this game? It makes no sense. I actually thought he was injured. But the fact that they did not have any faith in Elijah Pritchett until late in the fourth quarter, that's concerning to me. Because if Proctor's not back and we have this right tackle issue, and then you're kicking out Tyler Booker to left tackle, and then you're kicking 72 inside, that is going to be an issue. Because what it definitely showcased today was that we just have no depth. We have no depth at all. And I can't believe we actually went through this again. The exact same situation, the exact same scenario of literally, I mean, how we scored against South Florida, what happened? Because we added two tight ends toward the tackle side. And it was the exact same case again. We didn't get going offensively until we actually added those tight ends. It makes no sense. This was a Tommy Reese called game. And this is even worse because the weather isn't even a factor. It was clear. It was a beautiful night. It was just simply your team did not show up to play, and your coaching staff entirely didn't show up to play, didn't show up to coach as well.
Man, that's 100% facts, man. Shout out to Greg Reach with a $10 super chat. Appreciate you, Coach. Found you through Bama Football on YouTube, but followed you here because you are down to earth and seem more like to talk to one of my buddies, more knowledgeable too. Roll Tide, Greg. We all appreciate you, man. We just try to keep it like that, bro. Just try to, you can bring your frustrations here, bro. We all be in misery together, or happy together. We just try to keep it real, bro. We love one another, man, and we can fuss at each other and not be upset with one another. Thank you, Greg. I appreciate that $10 super chat. That's from all of us, man. We appreciate you. And that's a whole fact what Coach J said, man. That is a whole fact. And what's crazy, Coach J, this is what blows my mind, brother. I do not understand. For them to Gino Vandermark, bless his heart, he came in probably cold as a rock. You know what I'm saying? Kid probably hadn't played since he was at another school, right? To bump Tyler from guard to tackle. I know he's versatile. I know he can do that. Got Coach Carl about to come in too. I know he can do that. Shout out to Coach Carl. What up, Carl? How you doing, Coach?
My
What's
dog.
going on with y'all fellas?
Man, listen.
What's going on?
I understand that Tyler can play tackle, but to bump that kid from left guard to left tackle, and let it against a team that bring as much pressure as we did, as they done, I just don't understand the schematics of it, man. I don't understand the schematics of it. I just really don't. And I'm not getting on Wilkin like that. I know he's a young kid, but Wilkin was not ready to play in that game, man. Their coaching staff saw it. They attacked that man, just like Coach Jay said. They went at him. Same thing I would have done if I was coaching against Bama. And, like I said, the kid got caught several times with his hands out of place. We got to get that fixed, man. The coaching staff has to get some type of rhythm in play calling. We got way too pass happy, man, early. We did not give our backs enough chances. We got way too pass happy. I want you guys to talk to me about this. And Coach Jay, Coach Carl, you guys just got him. We'll start with you guys first. I want to know how you feel like the defense played, man. We talked about the play calling. We talked about earlier about some offensive things, some things that really, really concerned us. I personally believe the defense saved us this game. You know what I mean? Even though a better quarterback, we probably would have been 14 points down early in this game because we was getting burnt like cheese toast, straight up. He just was missing the receivers. Red got burned on one. The other young man got burned on one. I mean, he ran right by him, both of them. But dude couldn't hit him. Coach Carl, I want to start with you. What do you think about you're a defensive coach? I want to know what you think about how the defense played from front to back.
In my opinion, they played horrible on the back end. On the front end, in certain areas, it was okay. I really don't like that 3-3, that 3-3-5 defense. It was horrible. That 3-3-5 got no pressure, and then they just opened up the rushing lane, man. Like for the quarterback, like it was just unbelievable how much time that man had, how much rushing lane he had. And I mean, he ran the same play like what 8-9 times in a row. You just drop back, fake pass, and quarterback keeper up the good. Gone. 8-9 times in a row, moved all the way down the field. And they just kept running because they kept lining up in that 3-3-5. That 3-3-5 is really not good. My question would be, what happened to Payne, Smith, and all the other defensive linemen that rotation that you had last week? What happened to that defensive rotation? What happened to the 4-down linemen with the edge rushers coming out the corner like we had last week? So we kept getting pressure, kind of like they did in the second half. They got more pressure with the 4-down linemen and closed up some of the gaps. So every time they go into that 3-3-5, they were just giving up rushing lane, giving up rushing lane, giving up rushing lane. And then they thought, I mean, like you said, man, if dude was just a hair bit accurate, we give up what 20, 23 points or so. If he was a hair bit accurate. So I mean, like shit, that was put it like this. That's Tennessee offense, and that's Tennessee, and that's Nico. I don't think Nico missed those wide open touchdown passes with those guys just streaking past like Xavier Brown mix. I mean, he got burnt a couple times today, and I'm sitting in the stadium looking like, man, what the hell? Like, but when we put a Backway over that side, Backway press corner, he drove the kid straight out of bounds. Man to man pressure, boom, took him straight out of bounds. And that took that wide receiver clean out of the route. And that's how we got that sack on the very next play. And Backway played really, really good in the fourth quarter at that corner. So he may be playing that corner from now on over Xavier Brown because Xavier Brown really couldn't play press. I think he more of a zone read, like a zone type corner. But Malachi Moore scares me. Like the further he get from the ball, the more nervous I get because he had maybe one or two picks that he didn't even break on the ball. He stopped and waited on the guy to catch the ball and then trying to make a hit tackle, trying to make a solid knockout tackle. but he make a play on the ball. So like if that was maybe King Mac, he probably would have broke on the ball and got a pick because the ball was ain't but like 2 yards in front of him. He just stood and wait for the guy to catch the ball, and then he tried to get a knockout tackle. So in all, the defense saved us more in the red zone because they didn't have that much room to cover, and then they can bring more different type pressures. And I really like that part about it. But the last touchdown drive they had, I feel like they should have put more big bodies in the game. When you got it right down in first and goal, I would put more big bodies in the game. But I don't know, man. Like it was very concerning sitting in that crowd. The students' body came all the way out the top of the session and sit down there like they were surrounding us, screaming in your ear. You really can't hear because they were so nervous. Like they came all the way out of the top. They started sitting in our section. And we sit in the alumni section, right? They had us flooded, surrounded by little kids, man. So you really couldn't see much. I tried to get videos, and the video was just blocked by little kids. So, but I mean, I don't know, man. If we play like that next week in when Wisconsin would probably take a L. I said like that.
Right.
With Tyler Booker playing tackle, I would have never moved Booker to the tackle. I would kept Booker at guard and took my chances with a tackle. I mean, you're gonna take your chances with Formsby. You might well take your chances with another tackle and kept your 2 guards solid because Booker was at tackle. Even though he missed a couple of blocks at tackle, he held his own at tackle. But your guard got killed. The guard you replaced him with got killed all night long. So there's no way I would have took Booker out of the guard and put him at tackle, knowing that I don't have a service of guard to go behind that. If you're gonna switch the guard out, why they didn't just go with Rock Thomas? He plays center guard. He the bag of center. Why didn't you just go with Rock Thomas? Rock Thomas, when he come in to play center, he snap the ball, get up real fast. So you're gonna try experiment at center. I mean at guard, I would have brought in Rock Thomas. Somebody that plays center because you know you gotta get your hand up real fast playing center, and that means you a smart kid. You can pick up all the checks and all this here. So I would have done that instead of bringing in somebody that nobody knew anything about. And that kid got whooped all night long, and every big play we had, Formsby get a holding. I mean, it was bad, man. It was horrible.
Yeah, it was bad. Coach Jay, give me something. What you think? That defensive side of the ball.
I thought, Coach said it perfectly. We were just in that heavy. We were just in that 3-3-5 heavy. And I was a fan and proponent of of this heavy rotating of our defensive backs, getting 5-6 dudes just heavily rotated in the defensive backfield. I'm starting to get tired of it already. And listen, I understand that we're trying to figure out who are going to be the guys, but you are messing up the communication. You are messing up the continuity of this defensive backfield. Because they were, at least from my vantage point, there were at least 2-3 times in this game where it was just a lot of just miscommunication. That was even with our inside linebackers in terms of just everybody crashing down, and it's just the quarterback is just free for the outside, or they're just running a read option. Everyone's crashing down again, and the running back is picking up huge yards. It was just and we were just staying in that 3-3-5. I'm just getting sick and tired of the heavy rotating of our defensive backs and linebackers. And listen, I get it. We're going to get a lot of experience from it. But Georgia is 2 weeks away from us. Georgia's 2 weeks away from us. And Wisconsin, they're not, let's be honest, they're not a great team. Speaking of that, their ticket prices went up because of this game. So it is what it is. Yeah. So they think that they wish they could maybe. But you do this against Georgia, Georgia's going to kill you. Because there were 3 passes in this game, and literally 2 of them on the same series, where if this quarterback is just solid in terms of ball placement,
touchdown, the
game has changed. The trajectory of the game has changed, and now then they have all the momentum, and we could be talking about a different result. If this quarterback was just semi decent, this could have been like a very ugly game. We could be talking about a loss here. That's how bad we played, and strictly we got away with a lot of stuff, man. We got away with a lot of stuff. So I thought we played solid on defense. Again, like once we got into the red zone, we started to kind of tighten up and put some big bodies in there. But just overall wise, man, this was not a great showcasing on either side of the ball.
Facts, man. Brinsky, give it to me. Shout out to Car Conversations too, man. Shout out to Car Conversations. Shout out to Bruce Drewski. Good to see both of you in here so much, man. Give it to me, Brinsky, on that defensive side of the ball.
Like I said, man, and secondary, man, that was all I was worried about the whole time, man. Because I just said we just too young. We don't have the experience. Thank God Malachi Moore came back to at least have some type of experience. Keon Sapp. I think the safeties played good, but it was a lot of check downs and a lot of running plays this game for the most part. The corners, they just young, man. I just need them to just stop playing press coverage right now because
exactly
because we getting beat on the line. It was just so I was like, bro, please do not hit this one. And the guy literally ran a go route 2 plays in a row and missed 2 plays in a row. Thank God, because I thought it was a replay at first. I'm like, is he doing it again? Are they showing a replay? No, that's the next play. And it landed in the same spot twice. Mm-hmm. So we really lucky tonight, man. As bad as we play, usually when you play like that against smaller tier teams and you keep them in the game, that's when the game get interesting. That's when you get upset. And we almost let them come in our house and do that on when it's supposed to be Nick Saban's night. That would have been embarrassing. And you can tell that he was embarrassed by all the penalties because they literally got him with his arms folded, shaking his head.
We know what that means. Yeah.
Like, come on, man. They was playing undisciplined all game long, man, on both sides. I'm like, they just got to learn how to quarterback contain. Like you said, Van Dyke, you said he can run a little bit. I don't think he can run like this guy or whatnot. Because if he take a few of these, take a Jahad Campbell hit or a Lawson hit or Jefferson hit or Quay Rusar or anybody else hit so many times, probably twice, he going to slow up. This guy just kept coming at us. So, man, we're going to have to fix a lot of stuff. We definitely, like Buck said, no tight end route,
none
routes at all. We need to do a lot, man. We need to do a lot.
Someone sent me a thing on Twitter. If this tells you the end of the game here, where Jam Miller and Justice Haynes are walking off the field and talking to Elijah Pritchett. So
really?
yeah. If you see him playing around with Elijah and all that stuff, like in form, he's by himself. Like, I don't think he's going to be back on the field for a while.
He may have lost his position tonight, man. He may have.
I just wish we say,
John?
Like, Miles, my fault, John.
No, you good. Go ahead.
I was about to say, I just don't know why Myles Garrett not Myles Garrett.
McVay.
Just haven't got on the field yet.
Yeah. It makes no sense to me either. Like, if we're going to rotate so much on the back end, why aren't we willing to do this now on the offense? If Formby is struggling that bad for so long, I mean, what's it going to hurt, right? So, I mean, at that point, I didn't understand it. Dude had 4 holding calls. It could have been more, by the way, if you went back and watched.
On the touchdown.
And he should have had a face mask, too, as well, on not a face mask, hands to the face. Like, it was real obvious. Like, and I was like, this is going to be a bad night. So,
what you think about that defense, John?
I think you know they're right on the head, Brinsky. Like, the corners are super young. I thought the safety play was actually pretty good for the most part. I know Malachi Moore, people want to, he got burnt on one of the plays. I get it. But in my opinion, Malachi Moore, his energy and enthusiasm, in my opinion, really helped, right? He was kind of the leader on the defense in the back end because when I had to go to the sidelines, he was over there with, you know what I mean, with the defense, speaking to these guys, trying to bring them up and stuff like that. So if anything, like you guys have spoke out to already, I think the experience was a big deal to have Malachi there for that alone. But and Keon Sabb should have had probably 1 interception in this game, man. That one where he damn nearly jumped the ball. I thought he was going to get it, but yeah, I thought the safeties played pretty well. And as far as like Tim Smith, he had 1 good play. Q Rob, I really like. He had a couple good plays, but I think Tim Keenan, man, like Keenan,
that's my MVP of that game.
He is a monster. monster the whole game, in my opinion. But yeah, that was a very physical quarterback. There's no, I mean, that one drive where he ran like 5 times in a row, I'm like, this dude is really just, he is willing to give it all up, like, right, to get in the end zone. And yeah, it was impressive, man. Like, South Florida did a lot of talking, and I have to say they backed it up for the most part.
Their coach is a good offensive coach, man. I'm an offensive guy.
Their
coach.
He was the offensive coordinator for Tennessee in 22 when we got
facts, Coach Jay. Facts. Look, Joe Willie made a point, man, and I'm telling you, man, it's crazy that he put this comment, because when I think about, he did look like, he said, I didn't like Coach DeBoer's energy on the sideline. He looked like Brian Kelly. There was a time in that game when they scored, and I think it was 14-13 or something like that. He did had his look on his face like, I don't know him well enough to know what he was thinking, but to me, it looked like he was worried. He looked like I did. Like, oh shit. He was like, oh shit, like an oh shit look. You know what I mean? So I just think he was probably shocked at how bad we played, man. I really do, man. I really do think he was for me, I understand the fans are saying don't worry and this, that, and the third, but I'm a pessimist by nature. Coach Jay can tell you that better than anybody, right? Coach Jay and Coach Smoot can tell you that better than anybody. My thing is this, man. I see things in this game that will get us beat. And I'm talking about beat next week. And I know Wisconsin's not a great team, right? But what do teams do when they play Alabama? They get up to play Alabama. They practice. Trust me when I tell you this, man. It's just like Texas a few years ago. Luke Fickell has been practicing for this Bama team since last year. Yeah. I'm telling you this. They have been putting in work, film study on Kalen DeBoer since he got hired. They have been practicing for this Bama game since last year. So their fans are going to be ecstatic. Like Coach Jay said, they raised the price. They'll play their best game against Alabama because they have to. They have to, guys. It's not one of these things we're going to go out and fall asleep. This is Alabama. They're going to lay all their marbles on the table in this game. If you go out there getting penalties, giving up sacks, you're going to be in a fight on the road this time and that you may not survive. So we got to get that cleaning up, man. You definitely won't survive 2 weeks after that. That's a whole fact. That's a whole fact. Coach Carl, let me get you on this. Since you and Coach Jay just got in, let me get you on this. I want you to tell me this. We got Wisconsin, we got Georgia coming up. Those are our next 2 opponents. Wisconsin, a bye, then Georgia. Is that enough time to fix some of the things that we saw, or do you think it is what it is?
I mean, they can fix the offensive line struggles within a few days. I mean, all you got to do is put Tyler Booker back at guard and swap out the tackles. I watched these guys practice, warm up in the stadium. The reason why Miles Bay is not getting a lot of opportunities at tackle is because he come out of his break too slow. Like when he get in his kick step, it's way too slow. I think his kick step is slower than what the guy name that we keep, Elijah Pritchard. Like I think his kick step is way slower than Elijah Pritchard, so that's why he's not getting a lot of reps. Because you can sit in the stadium and you can just watch him, the offensive line go through their reps. He moving way too slow. Like I mean, he was moving way too slow. But you can fix the offensive line. Jalen Miro, you can't fix. And as Jalen Miro being a seasoned vet, junior quarterback, like a red shirt junior, so basically a senior year as a quarterback. Some of the dang blitzes that he didn't pick up, man, that's like sitting in that stadium, like just you can see the blitz. Like I'm a defensive coach, and I'm sitting here watching these blitzes coming. I'm like, okay, they coming straight up the gut through the guard. If he roll out to the left, he gonna be wide open. I mean, he had all the grass in the world. He rolled to the left, but by being a right hand quarterback, he do everything to the right. So he's trying to roll out to the right. Man, just roll out to the left. You got the whole field on the left side. Just roll out to the left and you straight. Like everything is good if you roll left. When he finally started rolling left, he started looking up. You got Ryan Williamson here, which he missed. Ryan Williamson in the open field by himself. No one around. He hit Ryan Williams in the second quarter. You know, that's 80 yards touchdown because he threw it about over the tight end head Dupree when Ryan Williams was sitting in the flat wide open. I mean, it's just like a lot of bad reads, man. If Miro can make the right reads. The running back hit the right holes. Kendrick Law don't fumble a kickoff return. Jam Miller put two hands on the ball, start trying to run over people and just juke them. I mean, it's just a lot, man. It's a lot of stuff that they were trying to do. I think it was more than Nick Saban being in the stadium, being on the field, Nick Saban on the sideline a little too long. I think it was just more of that. And all the kids and, all the other players from Alabama was on the field, Julio Jones and all those other folks that came in that was just walking the sideline. It was just like a whole lot of distraction. So maybe, being in Wisconsin next week, you get rid of all that distraction on the sideline, and then they can just focus on football and then just go out there and execute. It probably be better because, man, it was bad, man. I'm telling you, like, it's stuff that y'all don't see on TV. You sit in the stand, you see every time Jalen Miro come off the sideline, you got Blake Sims and who else was there? Jake Coker and two other quarterbacks on the sideline talking to damn Miro. Kalen the Bull pulling Miro from the sideline because everybody want to talk to him. Like they out there trying to fix the offensive line problems, and Miro's on one end talking to all the other quarterbacks. Then wide receivers over here talking to other wide receivers, running back talking to other running backs. Man, it was just so much distraction going on in that stadium. And it was like, man, I'm talking about the crowd were rocking, but the kids seemed like they were just a little bit overwhelmed with all that extra attention. And then, when Miro did make plays, the referee didn't call none of the holding pin or none of the pass interference. Right. So when he finally made plays, offense finally got good blocks. They had pass interference down the field they didn't call. And I think that was more because Saban was in the stadium too. And they just went getting Caleb the boy shit because Saban was there. So it's a lot going on, man. Maybe it's good that Nick Saban just stay the fuck out of the stadium, man. Like, stay off the field, stay out of the stadium. And I don't know. I think you can fix it. The defense is going to be okay. Like, I really do. I just know for one thing, Xavier Brown, he shouldn't be press corner. DeMonte Jackson shouldn't be in press because DeMonte Jackson get beat a lot in press corner. I think he more like a zone player too. But the more younger guys that came in, that Nick Saban recruited, those young corners that came in, even with Jones, when Jones came in the fourth quarter, he played press, and he played press really good. He's more stronger, solid, strong type corner. So when he actually bump and run, he knocking the guys off their stride. So, I think the defense is going to be okay, man. We just got to pick it up on offense. Offense is the bigger issue that we have. And once they get the offense rolling downhill, man, and it's just nothing. Jam Miller, Justin Hayes not hitting holes. Like, they making the wrong reads. You got green grass on the outside, and you want to stop and try to turn it back up. Just bounce it to the outside and just keep running straight to the sideline until you run out of real estate. But no, they turning up on the inside. Back in the day, Trent Richardson and Mark Ingram would have ran that thing all the way to the sideline and then turned up. Now these guys have the angle. All you gotta do is just keep running, but then they'll stop and try to cut back in on the corner. Hey man, you got a wide receiver out there blocking, just run on to it. Follow the wide receiver.
All facts. All facts. Let me get Coach Jay in here. Coach Jay, I need to know, can we fix this stuff, man, before these two big? Well, really, but I know we got one game Saturday, but can we fix it before the game 2 weeks after that one?
Yeah, thank God for the bye, because if the bye wasn't there, then I don't know if it would have been time to fix all these issues. But no, I think the offensive line can be fixed. Like, Coach said, if you just slide Tyler Booker on the inside, we got to get Caden Proctor healthy. And like I said, if there could be a situation where he's not going to play in the next game, I'm already prepared for that. But Pritchett's got to play. Like, I can deal with the fact that he's not good in passing sets. I know what he's really good at, and you can use that like you did in the fourth quarter. You can use his athletic size, his profile to your advantage. You got to figure out that left tackle spot. It can't be Tyler Booker though. Tyler Booker is important to play at that guard spot. Jaden Roberts, Parker Brailsford. You know what's funny? If you have Rock Montgomery play center, and then you have and then Tyler Booker plays tackle, and then Parker Brailsford plays guard, I would have been fine with that because that's what Parker Brailsford was before they moved him inside at center at Washington. He was a guard. So I have so Kalen DeBoer and Sheridan, well not Sheridan because Sheridan was at Indiana, but DeBoer, you were there. You saw that man grow and develop to play both sides at guard and center. Why was he not at guard? And then you can, I don't know, but yeah, it's just the offensive line can be fixed, or at least you can help kind of compensate for the loss of Caden Proctor. But I just right tackle, man, you got to fix it. Right tackle, left tackle, you got to fix your guards. It has to stay. You cannot kick out, Tyler Booker at that spot. You just can't do it. In terms of Jalen Milroe, he is what he is. I'm not going to sit up here and say that he's going to throw for 4,000 yards and that he's going to throw for a bunch of passing touchdowns. He is what he is. He's a phenomenal athlete that does have some really good passing ability. I think he's improved a little bit in his progressions. His ability to kind of process, I think, still needs to get better. But it's just he is just making the same mistakes. And matter of fact, it's funny because South Florida was using a very similar game plan to what they did last year. It was to a point where again, at first they were just rushing, they were rushing 5 and they just had a linebacker spy. Then it was just to a point where they figured out, okay, we don't have to do that. We just run base 4.
Yeah.
Just run base 4, and that's all. And then we can have 2 linebackers that can spy. And then we can fluster them. And then as soon as they were just pushing the pocket back and forth right into Jalen Milroe's lap, he was panicking. He panicked, and he tried, and he was either trying to make the play by rolling to his right, like Coach was talking about, rolling to his right, or he had to try to throw the ball away. And again, was I happy with these receivers? Again, I couldn't get the, knowing TV and knowing our angles, I couldn't really see it for that much. But were these receiving concepts great? I have no idea if it was. I'm guessing they weren't because some of the replays open. South Florida did a really good job in the secondary to kind of lock it down. But it's just the concern that Jalen Milroe is just not checking it down to the flats or checking it down to the running backs. He's making the exact same mistakes like he did last year. And so it's like, yeah, you're a 5th-year guy. This is the last year for you. This is make or break for you to potentially get drafted as a first-round pick, or you could potentially be even moved as a day 3 guy. He's got all the athleticism in the world. He's got the physical tools to do it. He's got to do it. He's got to do something upstairs. He's got to fix his game. And offensively, it's not all Jalen Milroe. It is up to our coordinator and Nick Sheridan, and it is up to DeBoer to help to put this man in the best possible situation to succeed. Tonight, we didn't do that. We didn't do that until the last 4 minutes of the game, where we decided to compensate for our right tackle's weakness, or for this instance, because you put Pritch in the game, for our right tackle's strength by just adding in 2 tight ends, by running 12-13 personnel. Why weren't we doing that earlier in the game and then using Milroe, his running ability? I have no idea why. Even on the goal line where we decided to go, we all know Jalen Milroe's not good and under center. Why was he not again taking shotgun and then running the football? That's been successful all night. Why weren't you doing that on the goal line? Like we just weren't putting him in the best possible situations to succeed. So knowing that what he is, and you're not helping him, and you're not really helping. Hell, you weren't even helping out your tackle. We all know what form he was tonight. You didn't help him out either. And so no, this was just. I think a lot of this is fixable. But we gotta get it fixed fast, right? Because Wisconsin, you asked me a week ago, I thought we would have blew out Wisconsin because Wisconsin's not a good team. They're just not. They're not a good football team. But however, like you said, Coach Sean, they've been preparing for this game for a while. Luke Fickell, who's openly even stated, like he talked about, like he already has a game plan stated for Bama, and this was something you can go back and watch the interviews. He talked about this when they asked him during media days. He's prepared. He's already got the game plan ready. Week 1 against Western Michigan was just vanilla. It was just a vanilla offense. He's not going to reveal it until this week. So until next week. So we got to get it right, man. And if we can get it right, I'm just praying that we can just get through it undefeated with the bye on our side. Because if we can't, I'm telling you, next week is going to be a mess if we can't get things straightened out.
That's a whole fact, Coach Jay. You and Coach Carr hit a nut on the head. Brinsky, can we fix it?
We need to make it to that bye week, man. That's all I need to say, bro. We need to make it to that bye week fast. We need to get Caden Proctor healthy as soon as possible because I don't need to see him in his chains on the sideline no more this season. I need to, because we need him. We're not playing guys that I thought was gonna be playing early in the year. We switching out everybody on defense. Like every play, but we're not switching out on the offensive line. It's kind of worrisome. We got to. Only thing that's good about today, man, Auburn lost. That's the only thing. That's the only thing. So that kind of balances out about everything. But man, we got a long way to go, especially with this offensive line. I'm really concerned about these tackle positions more than anything. The guard position, I'm not worried about at all. But we really need to get those tackle positions fixed sooner than later. Because like I said, the Georgia game is approaching week 5. Like I said, thank God for that bye. There's a couple of guys get healthy and all that. Because if we play like that, we're going to lose very badly on our home field.
And it's horrible to hear, man, because it's so true. John, in your opinion, can we fix it?
Yeah, I think most of it you can definitely fix. Like we've already repeated, the bye week is going to be a huge help. I think the offensive line is probably one of the quickest things we can fix, in my opinion. You can't really just give someone more experience on the back end as a defensive back, right? So there's not much more to compensate other than just having safety help over the top or moving Malachi Moore around, right? Positioning your rover, right, to help with the DBs. But then you're opening up the seams of the field. And unfortunately, you're about to play a Georgia team in a couple of weeks they could expose that, right? So they have guys on the outside and they run the seams about as good as anybody right now with Carson Beck. So I think Wisconsin and Tyler Van Dyke, it shouldn't be a huge problem. But I think that we got to get a lot of things shored up during that game to at least feel comfortable that we won't get smoked against Georgia, because that would have happened tonight. There's no doubt about it. We wouldn't even been in that game. Carson Beck would have hit those guys for the walk-in touchdowns. And then we'd be having a whole different conversation, you know what I mean, than we're having right now. Yeah, the score is obviously very misleading. We already know that. But, I mean, it's a lot to look at. I need to go back and watch the game probably 2 times just to account for everything, right? So, I mean, the right side, the bandit position, like constantly caught out of position or they're just being pushed out. It was disappointing to see their quarterback basically just moving to that right side, right to the right side of that center. And every time he got near his hip, he would just move upfield. He would take off. It's like, and there was nobody in front of him. And it's like, where the hell are these guys at? Where's the rover at? Like, and where are they at? They're caught off to the side, out of position. And it was like, okay, I don't understand it at this point. I think a lot of it's going to have to be fixed with Kane Womack. Now, I will give him credit to this, though. I think they adjusted pretty well after the first quarter and a half and at least slowed those guys down, right? They had somebody actually spy. Q-Rob spied a couple of times. I know Deontay Lawson kind of got caught out of position a couple of times as well, by the way. He got caught up in traffic a lot and could not get off blocks, which was a big disappointment to me because there was the slots were coming up and blocking this dude out. And I'm like, okay, you shouldn't have this problem with these guys, but it is what it is. There's nothing else to it than this. These guys have a lot of coaching to get done to them. So
that's a whole fact, man.
And I agree. I don't know I can't remember who said it, and I agree 100%. I think the rotation of defensive backs has to stop. Right. So it's got to stop at this point. Yeah, Jay, there we go.
And Coach Sean.
Yes, sir.
It wasn't much about Lawson being out of place. Lawson took a real good block from the blind, and he started looking that way when the plays were coming in direction.
Oh, there we go.
He started looking that way. You can start seeing like he was beelining toward plays. He started turning his head looking for the block, and he was overrunning most of the plays. Or when he get in traffic, and once they get his hands on it, he wasn't trying to come off it because of those blindside blocks. You know, once somebody hits you in their ear hole, you start looking around for it.
You remember? Yeah, that's a
He
fact.
started looking around for it. So I think they got in his head with that early that crackback block, and he was just turning around looking ever since then. But yeah, but you're right, John. Man, they got to play better on defense.
Chasing the Bass says, y'all are funny in this chat. Listen, the board's calm and cool collective. Give these young guys time. They needed this. This is what I say, Chase. I appreciate your positivity because I seen where you said they'll fix it. Here's the thing, Chase. Nah, I totally disagree with you, Chase. And respectfully, and I'm gonna tell you why. When you get beat the way we did at right tackle, you deserve criticism. You deserve to be judged on that play. This is big boy football. This is not the AAC who almost beat our asses tonight. No, sir. I don't agree with you at all. When you give up that many plays from one person, you deserve to be, the spotlight is going to be on you. That's what you sign up for when you come here to University of Alabama and playing these big games. When you get beat like that, you know, some got to be said. Now I agree with you. Like the guys just said, I do think these guys can fix it. I'm one of those guys. I do think they can fix it. Take Tyler, get Tyler away from tackle, put Tyler back where he belongs at left guard, and you find your tackle. Bring Caden back in, put Elijah in the right tackle. Let's see how that go. Right, but no, sir. When you play bad like that, it need to be called out. It need to be said. If I'm gonna give you the same love when you do good, I'm gonna hug you and tell you that you played bad tonight. You know what I mean? With love, right? Um, I'll say this too as well. I agree with Coach Jay. It's time to stop all this heavy rotation stuff because you about to get into the thick of this schedule, right? I understand you may not know yet. Maybe I guess that's why you still rotate. You got to find your corner, let him play, right? You got to find your people, let them play, let them get in the groove and play, man. Because on the road you're gonna need them. This constant stuff. That's actually how Western Kentucky had that long drive. We kept substituting all these different people. You know, find your people and let them go out there and get used to starting, man. I think we're doing a little. I understand why. I get why, but I think at some point you got to stick with the guys who gonna be your starters just for a little while, man. Just for a little while. These guys, I think I'm gonna tell you something else key too. Me and Coach Al, shout out to Coach Al because we talked about this. Jalen only threw the ball 9 times last week. I think that hurt us this week. I think that hurt us. We did not get to see Jalen really in his groove. I think throwing the ball on the 9, and we didn't need to, obviously, with the score, right? I get it. But I think the starters on that offense needed to play more now because I don't think we were in sync all night long. When the offensive line played well, it's almost like the passing game didn't work. When the offensive line played bad, obviously did nothing work. When Elijah come in, we scored 2 times. I mean, I just weren't satisfied at all with the continuity of the offense, right? You can punt. I don't mind you punting, but show me some type of continuity in the offense. And I don't think we had that all night long, man. Um, last subject before we get out of here. I want to know, Coach Jay. I want to know what you think. Let me start with you on this Wisconsin game. Now I know we can look forward to the Georgia game and all that, but I'm one. Even when we did score predictions the other night. I told him I don't really give a score prediction, but I predict us to win by such and such points. I didn't even feel good when I said that because I'm a pessimist by nature. I knew South Florida was going to come in here and could potentially make this a fight, right? Because if things don't go the way it's supposed to go, you're going to look up in the fourth quarter and your ass is going to be in a fight, right? Their coach actually had the greatest speech. You're not playing Alabama. You're not playing that emblem out there. You're playing just that guy out there. Whoop the guy in front of you. If you don't think Wisconsin will pose just as much challenge as far as I won't say offensively, but defensively, these guys could potentially play their best game against us. I don't let that South Dakota game fool me. I don't even care nothing about it because going on the road is tough, man. That's still a Big Ten team. We know they're not world beaters by any stretch of the imagination, but they could potentially play their best game. They'll lay it all on the line next Saturday against Alabama because everybody's gonna be watching that game, right? And those kids got pride too. They know they hadn't played well, right? Give me what you think about Saturday, Coach Jay.
Yeah, it's we don't show up, we're gonna lose the game. Because we're clearly just not ready. We're not ready yet to show that we are a complete football team. this was an issue last year where, again, we played against Texas week 2, and that was arguably one of our worst games from a complete standpoint because offensively we just kept making too many mental mistakes. Defensively, we kept making way too many mental errors, and one of our it cost us. It definitely kind of cost us. And of course, we got better in the second half of the season, but this is one of those situations where Wisconsin, they're going to look at this football game. And they run an air raid. They run an air raid system, so it's not going to be like this sort of situation where you're going to have a mobile quarterback that's just going to, that's just going to gash you, and they're going to be running a lot of read. That's an air raid system. The bad thing is we're probably going to be running a lot of 3-3-5, and so that's something that I definitely could see us running for the most. I mean, again, we've played against air raids before. Mike Leach, Mississippi State. It's nothing new. But it's going to be very interesting since one of our weak points that I've seen the last couple games is when the defense is really spread out and you're all of a sudden you don't have your big run stuffers that can go in there and control the line of scrimmage. That's always I think has been the weak spot of the defense. So I'm very interested to see how this game is going to work. Wisconsin, looking at what they did against Western Michigan, they still can run the ball. I think their offensive line is actually solid. But they got, defensively, they got some players, especially in the secondary with Ricardo Holloman, who could be a first round pick.
Yes, sir. Yes,
they got dude in that secondary, and so this is going to be. It's interesting because if we don't put our best foot effort, we can lose this game. And I would say that this is probably the most important game of the season, even more than the Georgia game, because we need this bye week. We need some sort of momentum that can help us get better and improve to the next level. And if we can't do that, this is. I mean, listen. If we lose to Georgia or Ole Miss or any other team, I'll take that because you can afford to lose 2 games this year and you can still make it inside the playoffs. Like you can go 10-2, make it, or even 9-3 maybe, and make it inside the playoffs. But you don't want to risk it by losing early. You just don't want to risk it this early. And so this is a this is a statement game for us to make. And I'm curious if a lot of the mental lapses that we made tonight, if we can just fix half of our issues today, I think we'll be just a much better football team. And, we can definitely go ahead and win that game. But I'm not going to chalk it up to, I'm just not, if you asked me a week ago, I would have said we're ready. No, I'm not chalking this game up at all. And the Wisconsin fans, they're chirping. Like I said before, ticket prices skyrocket. I mean, before you can find a ticket price for like $18. Now all of a sudden it's like the lowest ticket price is like $42. At least for what I've seen so far on StubHub. So that it may keep increasing because they're gonna hype it up. I think Wisconsin actually is undefeated. So this is gonna be.
They're gonna be loud too, Coach Jay. They're gonna be loud.
Yeah.
Yep. Cat Randall, 12:00 p.m. Which is 11 o'clock Central Time for a lot of you guys out there. So this is going to be so for a lot of you guys, this is a morning game. You saw the last time what happened when we went on the road. In a morning time environment. Look what that happened. So I'm curious, man. Wisconsin's not going to be a pushover. They're going to give everything they got. If we can't fix it, we're going to lose this football game.
Coach Carl.
Man, with constant coming up, man. I'm kind of like the chat. Like most of the people in the chat are reading. It's going to be a different Alabama football team this week. I'm telling you. From what I'm seeing in the second half of this game, I started seeing the defense get a little more focused. I started seeing the offense get a little bit more focused in the fourth quarter. And they started moving the ball more effectively. It's kind of like once they got out of the Nick Saban phase, they started playing football. Once they saw the 2 outside tackles, man, the issue with the 2 outside tackles, the Bama football gonna be great. I don't see Wisconsin posing that big of a threat offensively because of the skill we got on the defensive side. If we run that 4-2-5 and not that 3-3-5 defense, we'll be okay. If they come out that 3-3-5, we're probably gonna get ran over for a little while. But if they come out with a 4-man front, we'll be okay. Offense is gonna probably pick up, gonna correct most of the issues they have. And just be honest with you, man, sitting in them stands tonight, I realized I already knew Ryan Williams was a dynamic player, but Ryan Williams the truth. He is really the truth. Every single play, on the RPOs, he was 10 yards gone. If Jalen Miro just pull it and throw it, he had 6-7 touchdowns because they run RPOs. He was gone off the line, pew, gone, man to man. Last year, Michael Penix, he pulling that thing and he was gunning that shit down the line to Aroma Doomsday. It's just like I said, Miro just made a bunch of bad reads tonight, man. He just handing the ball off when he should have pulled it. But if he make the right reads next week against Wisconsin, because I'm quite sure Wisconsin probably gonna try to man up and play these wide receivers man to man. And I do think they tried to force the ball to Giovanni Bernard a little too much tonight. Instead of just running the offense and then get the ball to him as it go. I think in the first quarter they were trying to force the ball one direction, trying to get him more touch because last week he didn't really get much. So I think next week, man, they'll be ready to play Wisconsin with no distractions on the road early. They should come out locked in, ready to play. And if they don't, then we're gonna be in trouble. But I really think it's gonna be okay. I mean, just me being a Bama fan and me being a coach, coaches make adjustments at halftime. So they made the halftime adjustment. So this game it's like we needed this game to like catapult us forward for the rest of the season. We needed this game because they came in thinking that they were gonna roll through South Florida, beat them to death. South Florida came in and punched them in the mouth. And they need that kind of type of game to know just to wake you up, man. That's like you in a 12-round match and then you sleep in the first 5 rounds and almost get knocked out, then you turn around and come in and start swinging punches and then you end up winning the match. So I think we'll be okay, man.
All right, Brinsky, what you got? Wisconsin.
The only thing I can give them credit for Wisconsin that they just have a loud stadium. But I'm not a big fan of Tyler Van Dyke, but we still can't go in there sleeping because we'll get caught off guard like we got caught off guard tonight. But I don't think they're going to go in there sleeping. They're going to be well prepared. They already know what's at stake. Hopefully, well, I'm actually kind of glad we kind of had a night like this so they won't be looking ahead to Georgia. They know they got to take every game, one game at a time.
It's a good
and
point.
like Coach Saban used to always say, it's a new team every year. What you did last year is last year. And a lot of these guys are new that's playing out there. You can't just look towards the next week. You got to focus on this week. So we got a lot of work to do throughout the year. Hopefully we can get a lot of our main problems out the way sooner than later. Man, because it's tough, man. Just watch that game. But we'll be all right. I know we'll be all right. Jalen will be all right. He just have to get out his way a lot more. The offensive line got to play better. But we're going to be all right when we go to Wisconsin.
Shout out to Lynn. Shout out to Janet. Shout out to you guys.
And one more thing with Ryan. The man just proves me right every week, even though it's been 2 weeks. I'm going to keep saying that, man, is the best wide receiver to come out the state since Julio Jones. And you just see, like, what I seen. I seen the guy in person when they played for the state championship against Auburn. And I was just like, I couldn't believe my eyes.
Yeah. All right, John, what you thinking? Wisconsin, what's your thoughts?
So I got a couple things. Yeah, I kind of agree with you, Brinsky. I'm glad this game kind of happened for one main reason, in my opinion. I feel like this gives a chance for DeBoer and the staff to understand who the true leaders are, because the practice this upcoming week, you're going to find out who's there to play and who's not. Because I have a feeling it's going to be one of those things. If you would have watched the body language of Malachi Moore, you would have watched the body language of Kobe Prentice and these guys, like, they're pissed, right? So they're just mad at the overall performance of the whole team. And I think you're going to feel that this week, and you may see a change of heart on what it's going to look like on the field. The next thing is going to be during this Wisconsin game, we got to start seeing adjustments sooner, especially on the offensive side. The defensive side, what they were made, it just took a while, right? And then the offense was just, like you said, Brinsky, like, look, the 2 tight ends didn't come into the end of the game. Like, you had nobody given a chip block or nothing to help out. Like Jan said, you know what I mean? Like Formby or anybody. until the end of the game. And of course, that makes Elijah Pritchett look really good. And yes, his strength is run blocking, it's not pass. But I've already looked into Wisconsin a little bit. I already watched their game. Number one, I feel like Tyler Van Dyke's not going to beat you with his arm, in my opinion. And Wisconsin doesn't have that elite running back, in my opinion, yet, like they had with Monte Ball and all those guys through the years. So I'm really not too worried about Wisconsin. They do have a pretty good back end. That's pretty much all I got. I think we'll be pretty good against Wisconsin. The big fear is obviously going to be you get the bye week and you're going into Georgia. And look, I know a lot of people are overlooking him, but Jackson Dart, if he stays healthy, he's going to be a problem for us as well. I don't know if you guys watching the past 2 weeks, but he has been killing it, right? So he looks way more developed. Obviously, Nico with Tennessee, like we play a lot of really good quarterbacks. But yeah, I think this is probably the most athletic one we play all season.
For me, guys, wrapping it up, man. Listen, I'm gonna give it to you straight, never late, man. The truth is in the details for me. I agree with all my brothers on this panel, and I'm hoping they're right. I don't like what I saw, bro. I hate to be the pessimist here. I'm damn worried about Wisconsin. I ain't gonna tell no lie about it because I don't like seeing Jalen Milroe hold the ball like that. I don't like seeing Jalen Milroe can't even recognize where the blitz is coming when they're clearly not even disguising it. They're just showing you we're coming. He don't know where to flip the protection to. That worry me because that ain't something you can fix in a week. That bother me, bro. I don't like seeing Red Morgan out there one-on-one in coverage and dude just run by him like he's standing still. That bother me. I don't like seeing it. I know if I see it, Luke Fickle gonna see it. That bothered me, bro. I'm not as optimistic as everybody. I want to be, but I'm not. I don't like seeing the play calling that I saw in our own home field. I don't like the fact that defensive coordinator played base and we didn't know what the hell to do. That bothered me. It might be like Coach Carl said. It might be all the distractions because that makes sense. You got Julio over here. I'm trying to watch Julio. I'm a Julio fan. I'm focused on the game, but that's Julio Jones. Think about how Ryan Williams feel about Julio Jones, right? But going on the road is tough, man. Right? I don't be fooled about how teams play other teams. That's the last thing I worry about because I understand playing Alabama is their Super Bowl as South Florida. I understand no matter how bad South Florida looked yet last week, they gonna play Bama to the fullest, just like Wisconsin is going to do. They crowd gonna be loud. It's gonna be on the road. Them freshmen gonna be like, whoa. That worries me from what I've seen tonight. That's only 7. If this was 2 weeks away, I wouldn't be so worried. That game is in 7 days, 7 days, whatever it is. And it worried me. It worried me how we played on offense, man. I don't like how bad we played on the offensive line. If the line don't get it together, we may be in some trouble, man. I don't like seeing that, bro. That's just me. That's just me. I'm an offensive guy. I don't like what I saw from us on offense. I don't. I'm talking about from the quarterback to the play calling to the offensive line. I don't like nothing I saw on offense but the last 3 minutes of the game. That's the only thing. I don't like the script of plays we ran. I don't like the fact that when they played off of us, we couldn't even run a hitch until the fourth quarter. That hitch was open every time they gave us cushion. We just didn't look for it for some reason. I don't know. We wanted to chuck it. I don't know what the hell we was doing, right? That worried me. That worried me. Last time I said this, we lost to Tennessee. I don't like how we played tonight on offense. I just don't. I don't like nothing we done until the last 3 minutes, right? So I'm hoping my brothers are right, man. I'm hoping my brothers are right. We fix this, you know. Say what you want about Wisconsin. I bet you they be ready to play Alabama. I guarantee you, as a football player, Bama coming to my home, I don't give a damn what I look like last week. I could have a broke leg, two broke arms, and 6 broke toes. I bet you I play in this game. That's what I'm trying to make people understand. So I'm hoping we get it together because what we did on offense, I didn't like nothing we done from the scripted plays we ran to how we used Jalen Milroe to how we held the ball too long and couldn't. We didn't run any mesh routes. These guys played base man across the board, and we didn't throw one mesh. I didn't see us throw one. So I don't know, Coach Jay. I don't know, Coach Carl, Brinsky, John.
Did we run any high lows? Any high low concepts?
No.
Any of that?
I don't think we did.
No.
I don't think we did, man.
It's crazy.
So I'm hoping we get it fixed, guys. I'm hoping we do. Start with you, John. First, before we get out of here, let me say thank you to everybody in the chat, man. We had 400 people in here, man, total with YouTube and Twitter. Thank you guys in the chat, man. You guys always come, showed up, ready to talk. Adam Lamparillo, I ain't see you, Adam. What's up with you, bro? Good to see you, man. So oh man, Adam finna get on his Miro spiel. I can't go that far, Adam. I can't go that far because the offensive script kind of sucked to me, right? But there's room for everybody to improve. Let me just say that. Thank you all in the chat, man. Ephraim, OG Ephraim too, man. Good to see you guys. Tommy Bryan, Bama fan. Good to see all you guys, man. You already know, Adam. Thank you for showing up. We're gonna have this post game, so show up deep, man. We're gonna talk about it. My brother Lynn, always good to see Lynn, man. Um, Hey, Lynn, I'm willing to make any change as long as it don't have us playing my brother Buck like we played tonight on offense. I just didn't like how out of sync we were, man. It's like we were. I thought Tommy Reese was in the booth again at times, man. So that's the part that scared me. That's the part that scared me, right? Not saying we can't get better, but that really scared me how we played tonight, man. I was very dissatisfied. Just me. Shout out to Janet. Thank you for showing up, John. Let everybody know. Sweet Home Balance 24. Appreciate you. You already know how I feel about you, bro. OG Ephraim. Let everybody know, John, and tap in with these guys, man. If you guys can in the chat, tap in with these guys. These guys on this panel have an outstanding platforms. Coach Carl is just starting his, trying to get him out there. My brother Moon Rocker. Coach Jans. If you want the best rants in the entire YouTube world, go check out Coach Jans, man. I watch them things over and over and over. Brinsky, you want college content, pro content, hoops. Brinsky is the man for you. John, this guy has done it all. Left YouTube, came back, and already sparking the train right now. Tap in with these guys. John, let them know where they can find you at, man.
First of all, thanks for the invite, as always, Coach. So, but yeah, no, Bama Talk with John on YouTube and at BT with John on Twitter.
My bad. I'm Brinsky Sharp with the Sharpshooters Podcast. I just dropped it in the chat. You guys just hit that subscribe button for me. I sure would appreciate it. Also, you can follow me on Twitter at B_Sharp. And like I said, man. We got a very, very special guest on the channel this week talking college football. A little spoiler alert. His dad used to play for the other squad. But I'm so happy Auburn took that L today to Cal. So I called that one. I love it. It's beautiful. So don't feel too sad because Auburn feels worse.
Exactly. And before you go, Coach Carr, shout out to James Richardson, my brother from Georgia, man. Real Georgia fan right there, man. Hey, James, it was a rough one, baby. We pulled it. We ain't feeling bad as Auburn, right? We'll take it. We'll take it, James. Shout out to y'all.
Or Oregon.
Or Notre Dame. Oh, Coach Jay, speak on it. Notre Dame. I forgot about them.
Yeah. Boy.
They might be feeling worse than Auburn, who they got.
Oh yeah, because all this hype about them going undefeated as soon as they beat Texas A&M and Connor Weigman, who also can't throw the ball worth crap. Yep, they suffered the consequences today by losing to Northern Illinois, man. Oregon out there losing to Boise State. It's a lot of teams, man. A lot of teams, man, that are struggling. Oklahoma barely beat a bad Houston team, 16-12. Yeah, it's just like this was like I've never seen anything like this of just 2 weeks of just struggle from these quote unquote ranked teams, man. It's crazy. So even though we barely survived against South Florida, it could be worse. We could be Notre Dame right now.
Mm-hmm. All facts, Coach Jay. Coach Carl, let them know where they can find you, broski.
Hey, y'all can find me on the Block Sport Talk with Coach Carl on YouTube. You can hit me up on Twitter at Coach KD Taylor. But like you said, gents, we could have took a L, man. So I'm happy that we didn't. There was a lot of other teams struggling, man. And another thing, one thing, Coach Sean, I know that everybody mad at Miro, but once you taking pressure directly up the middle, you have no other way to go but run.
Yes.
Either you run or you get a sack. On the problem with Miro, he always run right. So they pressure him from the left side was forcing him right. If the thing about Bryce was so good with Bryce Young, you can pressure him and try to force him right, but he will spin out of the pressure and roll back to the left. Once Miro found that part right there, he unstoppable. That's all I gotta say about that.
I agree with, and for me, I ain't mad at Miro. I ain't mad at just him. You know what I mean? Because he was getting hit all night long. But the thing I don't, there are things I hope he get better on. I hope he identify the blitz, because some teams they wasn't disguising it. They were just coming up to the line of scrimmage. He wasn't paying attention. You know, like those corners. Sometimes the corner would, they creep up and bring pressure, and he didn't even never see it. Like he wouldn't even. You know, I wish he scanned the field before he say hike sometime. You know what I mean? That's all. But I know I definitely ain't mad at Miro, because he's at one point in time, he was the only offense we had. You know, shout out to Coach J. Coach J, let them know where they can find you, broski.
Yeah, Jant Sports on YouTube just dropped a vid. So it's more rant style. So if you guys want to watch that, check me out, Jant Sports. Also gonna be making a fraudulent list. So I'm gonna be taking all the teams that I consider frauds. I'll be making that in a little bit. I'm just gonna wait for all the I'm just gonna wait for all the games to be over. Pretty much this Boise State Oregon game. See how this thing ends. Arizona barely beating North Arizona 13-10. So it's just, yeah, a lot of teams again. A lot of teams I'm going to talk about, including Colorado losing to Nebraska. That was fun to watch as well. That was the only thing that was calming me down for yelling and screaming at my TV set, was that watching that game. Was a lot of humble pie served, but overall wise, man, yeah, I'll be doing that stuff, man. So Gen Sports on YouTube, check me out.
Appreciate all my brothers on the chat, man. These boys are great. You guys always know you can find me at JMHO right here on YouTube, JMHO Sports Talk right here on YouTube, and JMHO Sports Talk on Twitter. Thank you guys for tapping in, man. We really, really appreciate you guys. I'll be back with Ty on Monday. We'll be back with him, and then we'll be back tapped in with John on maybe Thursday. You know, all the guys may be on, and then we'll definitely be back here on Saturday, post game Wisconsin, ready to talk about what the hell we seen, man. Keywan Jones, Tommy Bryan, Roll Tide, to my brother Lynn, Janet, Sweet Home Bama, everybody. Introducing, right before we go, our last friend, and it's the SWD, the spinning wheel of doom. He enters